This is it. iPhone 12. Now, I'm a little bit late to the game, but this is the iPhone 12 in product red. The new box does look pretty cool in this new thin kind of form factor. I quite like it, I gotta be honest. But that is because they removed the power brick, which, trust me, we're gonna talk about that. It's a pretty simple box. I mean, it doesn't make for much of an unboxing video, but this is the phone. It has a peachy red color, depends on the light you hold it in. And then this is the USB-C to lightning cable, which we are also going to talk about. But other than that, that is kind of pretty much it. Now, right off the bat, after holding this phone, first thing I realized is it's light, especially in comparison to the iPhone 11. That's one of the heaviest phones I've ever held, and so this one's quite light. I love the design and the look of this new form factor, but something just throwing out there is kind of a nitpick is it's less comfortable to hold. But the aluminum frame works out really nicely here. Now, a new thing that also caught my eye is the display, because this is now the same display as the 12 Pro, which is much better than the 11. On the top, it's kind of, the flat edges, you got the buttons, you got the lightning port, speakers, very, very simple. You got an ultra wide and a main camera, and then a glass back. And that's kind of pretty much it for the form factor. Other than that new design, it's pretty much the same as it was before. But setting it up, it's the same usual Apple process. You do the privacy, you connect your Apple ID, you do your Face ID, you have to put in a passcode, but then by the end of it, don't forget about Siri though, then you're ready to go. And the thing is, this isn't that interesting because, it's an iPhone. But yeah, I do like the design now. I just want to kind of remind you of that. But now let me take you through my first impressions. We'll talk about Magsafe as well, which is their new wireless charger, and we'll go through specs at the end. Now, as I was talking about the form factor, I really, really like it. From a design standpoint, I really do. From a functional standpoint, as I said, it's a bit less comfortable, but it's fine. And it's actually, it does gonna give you a nice grip though. That's something which is nice, but I wonder what it would be like on the 12 Pro Max. I also mentioned that the phone feels quite a bit lighter, and it's a really nice weight, especially in comparison to the 11, which, as I said, was one of the heaviest phones I used. In terms of the red product, if that's the one you're getting, it looks red in some environments, and in some environments it looks quite peachy. It really depends on the angle that you're looking at it from, and the lighting. And in terms of the glass on the front and back, Apple are now using something called ceramic shield, which they say makes the phone 4 times more resistant to drops in terms of cracking and stuff. But based on experience of other people, scratches aren't really involved in that rating. But yeah, I'm not gonna test it. And also about the form factor, I love the design of the camera bump. It's quite minimal and it barely protrudes, and I really like the matte finish. So yeah, it looks nice. Overall, based on the form factor, you can tell that this phone has had some solid engineering put into it. The display, much better. Now, instead of being an LCD, it's an AMOLED, basically meaning, well, in a basic term, it means it's better. Alright, but why? Because the blacks are true blacks and there's more contrast, so colors pop more. Whereas on an LCD, if you had a black thing on the screen and you turned all the lights off, it actually wouldn't be a solid black. You would be able to see it because it's producing light. It would be like a really dark blue. But what an OLED does is it turns the pixels off and you have a true black. On top of that, the bezels, which is the black rim going around the display, is much smaller on the 12 than it was on the 11, which is really, really nice. Now it's the same as the 12 Pro. So overall, the display is one of the biggest changes with this phone. Something also though about the display is it's 60 Hz, basically meaning the screen refreshes 60 times a second, whereas phones these days now refresh 120 times per second, which makes them feel much smoother. Now, Apple do make one of the smoothest 60 Hz displays ever, because they have a really high touch response, but it's not 120 Hz. So yeah, take from that what you will. Now, in terms of the power brick situation, I'm all for helping the environment and all that. That's all good, but I don't like the way Apple have gone about this, because the cable that they include is a USB-C instead of USB cable. So you need to have a USB-C power brick to be able to use that cable. So Apple, no, if you don't have a USB-C power brick or another lightning cable that you want to use, then you're going to have to go buy one from their store for £20 or dollars. But for me to be able to justify them doing this, they either should have been using USB-C power bricks in their phones for a long time so everybody would have them, or cheapen a power brick for iPhone 12 buyers. So if you got an iPhone 12, you're allowed to get the power brick for much less than the original price. I think that's very fair, because to be honest, this seems like partly a money grab. Especially if you're going to get the 40-pound Magsafe charger, which doesn't come with a power brick, and then you're going to have to buy a power brick on top of having the phone, which didn't come with a power brick, so all of that. But anyway, talking about Magsafe, let's look into that. So what is it? It's a wireless charger like any wireless charger, except in the iPhone there is a circular plate of magnets which Magsafe directly connects to, so it's in one position. And in comparison to another Qi wireless charger, Magsafe charges the iPhone at 15 watts instead of 7 watts, which is what iPhone does with every other wireless charger. And it's a really small wireless charger, and it connects to the back and it stays there through magnets. Rather than like a normal wireless charger being able to lift it off, it stays on the phone like a cable. And what I find really interesting about Magsafe is, to me, shows where Apple is going in the future. Some of you may know that Apple are heading for a portless future where there's no lightning port, none of that, everything is wireless. And the problem with wireless charging beforehand was you can't charge and use the phone at the same time because, you know, the wireless charger is like a pad that just stays in its position. Whereas Magsafe, the idea of Magsafe is that it stays on your phone and you can use your phone while it's attached to Magsafe. And Apple are getting their users used to this, so that when it comes to this portless future, everyone is ready for it. So this is what Magsafe is. I really like the concept. I think it's really cool. Anyway, to end it off, in terms of specs, I'm just going to list the specs out. I'm not going to do an explanation, just tell you what it is. So it has a Super Retina OLED 6.1 inch 2.5K 60Hz display, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back with ceramic shield, which makes it 4 times stronger apparently, an aluminum frame. It's powered by the Apple A14 Bionic chip, which is a 5nm chip. It's got a 12 megapixel main camera and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It records at 4K 60, and it's the only phone with Dolby Vision, which is a type of HDR, basically making videos look better. It's got a 2850 mAh battery, IP68 water and dust resistance, 15 watt wireless charging with Magsafe 7 watt on other wireless chargers, and then 20 watt fast charging if you get the power brick, which costs £20. Stereo speakers, 5G, Face ID, which is the same type of Face ID as it was before, no improvements there. And the base model in the UK for 128 gigs is £850, and then in the US for 128 gigs, that's $800. So yeah, those were the specs. That was my impressions, my unboxing, and my look at Magsafe. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you did, because it really helps me out. A like and comment helps with the algorithm too. Check out my Instagram at El-Naggar if you want to see a behind the scenes perspective. And yeah, that's about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Salam.
I can see the light.